Hello students, myself Anna Sahib Gorane from Rayat Shikshan Sanstha's RBNB College Srirampur. Today we continue our chapter from 11th science, that is optics. You know about optics, you know about laws of reflection, refraction, and you also know about the critical angle. That is the angle of incidence in denser medium, for which angle of refraction in rarer medium is 90 degree, is the critical angle for that pair of media. You also know the phenomenon of total internal reflection. That is the when ray of light is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium at an angle of incidence greater than the critical angle, the ray is totally reflected back in the denser medium. The phenomenon is total internal reflection. There are some applications of total internal reflections. It is used in prism binoculars. It is also used in periscope to see the objects outside the water surface from inside the water. And it is also used in one important application, that is the optical fiber. Today we see these important applications of total internal reflection, that is the optical fiber. Now what is this optical fiber? Firstly see the diagram of this optical fiber. Optical fiber. Optical fiber, firstly we see its construction and then we see how it works. This is incident light. And this is emergent light. This covering is a cladding having the low refractive index about 1.5, and this central part is the core having refractive index about 1.7. Here this angle of incidence is greater than critical angle. Here also this I is greater than IC. This is the one important application of total internal reflection. Firstly we see the construction of the optical fiber. Its working is based on the total internal reflection. It consists of large number of extremely thin fibers of high quality glass or cords. High quality glass or cords. These are the transparent material. Extremely thin fibers of high quality glass or cords. The central part is called as core, and the refractive index of this core is 1.7. The core is coated with a outer material, thin material called as cladding, and the refractive index of cladding is less than the core. So that refractive index is about 1.5. The fiber is very thin and it can easily bend without the breaking. Number of such fibers are packed together in outer cover. Central part of this material, which is high quality glass or quartz having the high refractive index called as core, it is covered with a material of low refractive index, that is the cladding. Fiber is very thin, it can easily bend without breaking, and number of such fibers are packed in outer cover. Now how it works? It's working. Light is incident at one end of the fiber and refracted into the fiber. This refracted light incident here at angle of incidence greater than the critical angle, and as this angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, it is reflected back. We call this phenomenon as total internal reflection. Again here it is incident at angle greater than the critical angle. Again here there is a total internal reflection. In this way, before emerging from the fiber, the light undergoes a multiple total internal reflections. It acts as a pipe through which light flows. The intensity of this emergent light is same as intensity of incident light, as there is little absorption or absorption of light is negligible here. Negligible absorption of light is there. So intensity of this emergent light is same as intensity of incident light. Absorption of light in the fiber is negligible, and it totally works on the principle of total internal reflection. That is, it travels from denser to rarer. This part is a denser, and it undergoes a multiple total internal reflections, and finally it emerges out from the fiber. In this way this optical fiber works. There are some advantages of this optical fiber. These advantages are very important. Advantages of optical fiber. First important advantage, a broad bandwidth. Broad bandwidth, that is the frequency range. Its frequency range is broad, that is high frequency range. For TV signals, optical fiber carries about 90,000 channels. Channel means independent signals. For television, this optical fiber carries about 90,000 channels, that is the independent signals. Its bandwidth is very large. Second is, it is immune to EM interference, immune to electromagnetic interference. What it means? It is immune to EM interference. It does not pick up the nearby electromagnetic signals because it is electrically non-conductive. Does not pick up the nearby electromagnetic signals, hence it is immune to electromagnetic interference because it is electrically non-conductive. Next advantage is attenuation loss is low. Attenuation loss is low. Now what is attenuation? The loss of strength of signal is called as attenuation, and this attenuation loss is low in case of this optical fiber. Next is, it is electrical insulator. This is one main advantages of this optical fiber, electrical insulator. Next advantage is, as it is an electrical insulator, that is advantageous. Next is theft prevention. Theft prevention, as expensive material is not used in this optical fiber, like copper. Copper is an expensive material. Such expensive material is not used in the construction of optical fiber. Its cost is low. Theft prevention, we can prevent it from the theft. And security of information. Security of information or the signal. Security of information is also a main advantage, because no possibility of damage of the internal structure. It can easily bend without the breaking. So these are the some advantages of this optical fiber. These optical fibers are also used in many applications. One application is endoscope. It is used to investigate inner parts of the human body and also to perform the surgical operations. It is also used to transmit television, that is audio and video signals over large distances. Firstly, that audio video signals are converted into light, and then it is passed through the optical fiber, and at the receiving end again that light signal is converted into audio and video signal. It is used in telecommunication to transmit the signals over the large distances. So this optical fiber is a very important device, or it is an important material, we say, and its working is based on the total internal reflection. These are its some advantages. Now our next article is refraction at single spherical surface. This article is also very important. Refraction at single spherical surface. See the diagram. This diagram is very important. Refraction at a single spherical surface. This APB is a single spherical surface. P is the pole. This x dash px is the principal axis. It separates two media. Refractive index of medium on this side is N1 and refractive index of medium on the second side is N2, and this N1 is less than N2. This material is denser than that first material. P is the pole, and we know all distances are measured from the pole. O is point object placed on the principal axis, and these are the incident ray. OA and OP are the incident ray. At point A we draw the normal. It touches at the C, that is the center of curvature of the spherical surface. OA and OP are the incident rays. After refraction, as it is incident normally, it travels along the principal axis without any deviation, and at this point A the ray is refracted, and these two refracted rays meet each other at point I. This I is real image of the object O. Here this I is angle of incidence, R is angle of refraction, and this alpha, beta and gamma, these are the angles made by incident ray, normal and refracted ray with principal axis respectively. So this is about the diagram. The object distance from the point P is minus u by the sign convention. Distance from P to C, center of curvature, is capital R. Then distance from P to image is V. These R and V are positive as per the sign convention, and that object distance is negative. As these rays are paraxial rays, that is close to the axis, the angles are very small. If angles are very small, we write it as sin I is nearly equal to I, or sin R is nearly equal to R. As the rays are paraxial, the angles are very small, and if they are in radian, we write sin I is equal to I, sin R is equal to R. And by Snell's law of refraction, we write N1 sin I is equal to N2 sin R. This N2 is greater than N1, and as the angles are small, sin I is I, sin R is R. So we write this equation as N1I is equal to N2R, because the angles are small. Now see the figure. From the figure, this I is exterior angle of triangle AOC. And as this I is an exterior angle, we write that I is equal to alpha plus beta. By the exterior angle theorem, this angle is exterior, it is the addition of these two angles, I is equal to alpha plus beta. Then this beta is exterior angle of triangle ACI, and that beta is addition of these two angles, so this beta is R plus gamma, and hence this R is beta minus gamma. Here we get the values of I and R. Simply substitute these values in equation 1. We write N1I, that is alpha plus beta, is equal to N2R. What is R? Beta minus gamma. N1 alpha plus N1 beta is equal to N2 beta minus N2 gamma. This becomes minus and this becomes plus here. So N2 gamma, here it becomes plus this N1 alpha is equal to N2 beta minus N1 beta, or we write this as N2 gamma plus N1 alpha. Take N2 as common, beta as common, we get N2 minus N1 beta. Or we write this also like this. This equation we can write also N2 minus N1 beta is equal to N2 gamma plus N1 alpha. N2 gamma plus N1 alpha. Now see the figure. From the figure, this beta is arc AP upon PC. Arc AP upon PC, or we write it as arc AP. PC is nothing but radius of curvature R. Then gamma is, see gamma, arc AP upon PI. But what is PI? Our PI is V plus V, arc AP upon V. That is the gamma. Now see alpha. Alpha is arc AP upon PO. Angles are small, we write this arc AP, but PO by sign convention it is minus U, object distance. Simply substitute these values of beta, that is arc AP upon PC, are gamma, arc AP upon PI, and alpha, arc AP upon PC. In this equation, we get N2 minus N1 arc AP upon capital R, that is equal to N2. Gamma is arc AP upon V. V is the image distance, plus N1, alpha is arc AP divided by minus U. As there is a minus, we write this sign as a minus U. Take arc AP common here. Our next step will be N2 minus N1 arc AP upon R, that is equal to arc AP, we take it as common, in bracket N2 upon V minus N1 upon U. N2 upon V minus N1 upon U. This arc AP get cancelled, and lastly we get the equation, very important equation we get lastly, that is N2 minus N1 arc AP cancel divided by capital R, that is the radius of curvature, is equal to N2 upon V minus N1 upon U. We know the meaning of the terms in this equation. U is object distance, V is image distance, R is radius of curvature, and N1 and N2 are the refractive indices on the two sides. So we get the equation N2 minus N1 upon R is equal to N2 upon V minus N1 upon U. So this is the equation for the refraction at single spherical surface. Question on this article carries 3 marks. This is also an important article. Okay, today we stop here. Thank you.